Yo, 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 what is going on? It is the sharpshooters to talk some wrestling, man. Get into Monday Night Raw. And, we just go topic by topic of what we want to talk about. That's how we do things on this show. We're not trying to go through the whole Monday Night Raw. We will be here forever. But definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, man. We really appreciate it if you enjoy the wrestling content. So, Top, how we feeling about the Oba? Remember, because we just talked about it. Oba, what they were gonna do with Oba. Obviously, you go from winning, at WrestleMania and beating Brock Lesnar, a legend, and then now apparently Oba said it. Everybody's tied up. Everybody's doing their thing, and he came up with this solution. And basically, it is the Oba Open Challenge. What do you think about that, my guy?
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I don't know, like who's gonna pose a challenge or who's gonna pose a threat to Oba in this open challenge. I can't put my finger on it. This tells me that they really don't have anything for Oba right now. Uh, that kind of makes sense. And something that makes sense for him right now, they don't have, and that's a bit telling for a guy that you're pretty much putting the star on. Um, how that turns out, I don't know. I think that's the only intriguing part is okay, they're doing something that is a little bit confusing, but could turn out good depending on who's coming out of that who's coming into that open challenge. So we'll definitely see. But I think right now Oba's kind of taken off to the point where it's like, yo, how long does this kid have before they put the title on him? Whether it's a US champion or whether he starts fighting for the main title. Who knows? I
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I don't know. Maybe you know what's funny? I hate to talk about this now. I was thinking about something when it came to Oba. Don't you think it'd be don't you kind of see it happening right now where if he continues his momentum, he wins the Rumble next year and ends up facing Roman at WrestleMania?
I could see that as a possibility. I definitely could see that as a possibility.
Um,
I like the idea. Obviously after WrestleMania, you heard that Oba called out Roman, or a
do you
little
think? Do you think? Here's a question: Do you think do you think it's a rush? Like they did with Jey Uso. You see how Jey Uso got hot, and then a year later they gave him the Rumble, they gave him the main event, and for the World Heavyweight Championship, he won it. Like, do you think for Oba, do you think that would still be a little bit of a rush, or do you think him winning the Rumble next year in 2027 and then being in the main event of WrestleMania would be perfect timing? Like,
You
what do you
see,
think?
it's a tough one because I don't know what they're gonna do with Roman. I don't know if they're gonna get there eventually with Seth versus Roman. Are they gonna go that route and be in Seth and versus Roman as Saudi, or are they gonna go the route like you saying, Oba versus Roman at WrestleMania and give the title to give the title to him? But realistically, Oba can win the Royal Rumble and not have to face Roman. He can face
Right,
somebody else.
right,
So it
you're right.
doesn't need to be Roman Reigns. But I don't feel that. I mean, I don't know what I think about this open challenge. I just think it's weird. I get it. You don't have nothing for him. There's not really a lot. Everybody's tied up, like Oba said, with the championships. Like Penta's tied up. You got the US champion is no longer doing the open challenges. So it just like Lil, what's it called? Lil Uzi said, right? That's his name,
Right,
Lil
right.
Uzi. Yeah, that's his name. So it I just I don't know what's next for Oba. I mean, I guess the open challenge. I don't know who comes out of this open challenge. I mean, do you get a Oba versus a Royce Keys? I mean, is that something that maybe could be in play here? A big guy match. Are we go from there, or are we gonna get jobbers? Are we gonna get like what is this going to be? Is this going to turn into a storyline for somebody? Like who is going to be the match for Oba?
Right.
Is it going to be a Gunther? Are they going to do Gunther versus Oba? Now, listen. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the Mets are gonna do. I mean, the Mets. The Mets.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know what they're gonna do.
I
We
don't know
don't
what
know
the
what they're
Mets.
gonna do.
I don't know
Yeah,
what the Mets are gonna do either. But they're a bad team. But I don't know what WWE is going to do.
let me ask real quick. Let me ask you a question. Who you think is worse, Triple H and TKO or the Mets front office?
That's a good question. Triple H and TKO or the Mets front office? I'm going to say the Mets front office. Man, I mean they're horrible. But I feel like with Oba, maybe it could be a Gunther, a Gunther, whatever. Maybe it could be him versus Oba. But then what do you do there? You just gave Gunther a nice win against Seth Rollins. So I mean, you don't want to change, and you want everybody to grow. You don't want Gunther to lose, and you don't want Oba to lose. So maybe you can't go that route. So it's a really confusing role what they want to do. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I think it's going to be very intriguing to see what happens. And I hope it's something good for Oba because he deserves it. He really does. But I think you're right. I don't think that they have a plan for Oba right now.
Right.
And it's very unfortunate.
Right?
Very unfortunate, man.
It seems that way. Like it just seems like they don't have a direction for him after they made him beat Brock. It was almost like they wanted to me, what it seemed like is they looked at it from a standpoint of, yo, let's give the fans what they want. And then let's ride out this wave and see what we can build for him as we go. Instead of saying, yo, here's the year schedule or year plan, barring any changes, because you never know, things can change. But here's where we want him to do for this entire year, because he is one of the main stars in the company.
And then you also got Oba being a baby face, right? So Oba's a baby face. It's not like he can go and attack Penta and be like, yo, I want the title. Maybe you could have done that if he's a heel, but he's a baby face. So it's going to be a little weird to do that.
Do you see a heel a future where Oba becomes a heel? Do you think that's a possibility, and do you think he could pull it off?
I do. I think he's a guy that is versatile and he can pull it off. I think he has the promo skills to do that, and he could be a very badass heel. I could see it. I really could see it. Be the ruler and be that heel. I could definitely see that for him. But nobody really knows what's gonna happen with Obafemi. I just hope it's good. I mean, he deserves something good. Like, you just beat Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Like, give this guy something good to work with. Right. And you better hope. I mean, Triple H, TKO, whatever, they better have a plan for Obafemi. They really better, because that is a star. That is a guy who I could see being the WWE champion at some point. And you're putting him in crosshairs that, it's right away. You're putting him in some big crosshairs. People you saw in ESPN when they were hyping up WrestleMania, they were hyping up Obafemi. Roman even said, "I want to work with Obafemi at some point." So that is huge, man. I think Oba is an amazing talent. I think he is going to be champion at some point. I don't know exactly when, but I'm really excited to have him on Raw, have him on the roster. I just hope you don't, mess with him and mess with his growth. Right. But I honestly don't know what they're going to do. Right. I don't know. I really don't.
Right. Yeah. I don't either. I think it's one of those situations where, like, you sit there and you're like, okay, open challenge doesn't really, it's not a draw to me. I mean, again, Oba's the draw, right? Oba is the draw, and he's gonna make the best out of it. To me, I just feel like they could have done so much. They could still do much more with him, where he doesn't need to be in an open challenge.
And then he doesn't have a title, so it's like it's not like the John Cena open challenge. It's not like Carmelo Hayes open challenge. He doesn't have a title, so you want to do an open challenge. It's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
little weird.
Yeah.
So it is what it is with that. But let's move on here to Braun. Now, wow. Listen, Seth Rollins come out to start Monday Night Raw, right? To
Right.
start Monday Night Raw in the ring, he comes out and he gets to business. He says, I want to talk to Braun. You know, we got to get to the bottom of this. We got to see what's up. So Braun Breaker comes out, and I'll tell you this, man, it's so good. It feels so good having Braun Breaker back on Raw, man, because he is such a great addition to Raw, man. He was already great like on Raw before. You know, I did feel personally that he didn't need Division. He didn't need Paul Heyman. He didn't need those guys, you know, but I feel like he was doing just fine, but they went the route to put Braun in Division and with Paul Heyman, and it went from there, and he got hurt. So, I mean, I don't know what would have happened at WrestleMania. I don't know if it was supposed to be Seth against Braun, but now we talked about it. You know, we did say it is official. Seth Rollins is going to face Braun Breaker at Backlash. So, I mean, you saw the promos, right, between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. And I want you to tell me here, what did you see in this promo between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins? Because they talked about a whole lot.
I'm back and forth. To me, I would have not been shocked if Triple H let them just go at it. No script, no nothing. Go big, go what's off the top of your head. Make it good, like you guys know how to make it, and speak your minds. Speak your minds. Show your frustration. In Braun's perspective, the frustration as him, being behind Seth the entire way, and then finally getting the keys to the vision in that certain time. And then Seth just, coming from a place of betrayal, right? Coming from a place of, we were all one, and one by one, people kind of turned on me. I got hurt, and it felt like, you guys kind of just took the reins and forgot about me. So it's one of those things where it's like now, they meet, and we've been anticipating it for a while, just because, once Braun Breaker took over the vision at that point in time, you kind of knew it was like when Seth comes back, he's coming from somebody. Like he's bound. If it's mostly Heyman, but Braun's gonna take that too, because Braun took it over as if, Seth's not here no more. It's my time.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
I mean, you saw Braun Breaker basically tell Seth, like, Seth was asking why did you attack me? Why do you want so bad for me? What the hell did I do to you? Like, what is it? And Braun is like, you made us basically your errand boys.
Yeah.
Like, you made this all about yourself. And that's the thing about it. So I felt that. I felt that because I feel that it felt like they were like, like guys behind the scenes, guys behind Seth Rollins, guys like they weren't really the focus. They call this the vision. Well, they weren't really the focus. And Seth, it was built around Seth, and I get it. They wanted Seth to be the big part there, but I don't think that they did enough with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And the whole thing was stupid anyways.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed, I mean, you attack Seth Rollins, and then what? The next time now you're in the same group with him. It was very, very stupid in general. They were looking for something with Seth Rollins and Bronson in the vision, whatever. It was so weird. But Seth was like, yo, I wanted you to be successful. I wanted you, Braun, to be successful. And he gave him his credit. He said he's one of the baddest. He said he's one of the quickest. He said he is one of the best young guys out here right now. And also, Braun gave Seth the credit. Braun said, you're one of the best wrestlers, probably the best wrestler in here. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that they gave each other that respect. Braun Breaker did say, at being number 2, but that was just a little shot there,
right,
and obviously you don't want to hype him up too much, right. And I get that. But I feel with Braun, and Seth. This was an awesome promo. And then you also see Seth Rollins calling, Braun Breaker baby Steiner. And you're not even the best Steiner in the family. And you're the number 2 Steiner in the family. So that was very, very interesting. And I like that they went there. And I like what you said, because maybe they did give them some rope and be like, yo, go out there and go just go talk the talk. And I felt like they did that.
Right.
I feel like they did that.
It was almost like, yo, let's get everything out on the table. I don't like you, you don't like me. You know, I want to know why you did what you did, but just know that because of what you did, and you attacking me at WrestleMania, I don't like you, you don't like me. Let's get everything out on the table, and like that's how you set. Again, these segments are important. You know,
Yes.
when we have these long segments, it's to not only build on the story, but you get the realism of where this is gonna go. A lot of the things that is being said, you understand. All right, this segment went this way, so now we know where this feud is gonna go. And I think now what they're starting to build on Seth and Braun, and I like the fact that again a lot of things are being said to draw you into just what they're saying. You're drawn in because you know where these the place that they're coming from. Braun feels like he was used, and Seth feels like he was disrespected. Seth doesn't look at it that way. Seth is like, yo, I guided you. I put you on this pedestal. I've done what I had to do. I've main evented WrestleManias. I've won championships, and I've won championships at WrestleMania. Nobody's had a better cash in than me. Let's be honest, right? I cashed in. I was the very first superstar in WWE history to cash in a Money in the Bank contract briefcase at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I've done what I've had to do. I've won Royal Rumbles. Like I've done what I've had to do. I retired today. I'm good. You, however, you have it. The biggest accomplishment to your name is that you're a Steiner. Let's be real. What has Braun really done? Braun really hasn't done anything. He's been what? Intercontinental
champion. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Seth was doing that after he won the. Remember, he was world heavyweight champion. Got hurt, came back, main evented WrestleMania against Triple H, and then was doing single matches and tag team matches, and then all of a sudden found himself in an Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania 34. So Seth was at the highs of highs, and then went to the middle, and then went back to the highs of highs. The next year, he was main eventing WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35 for the Universal Championship.
What do you think is I know they just had a promo, but what do you think is next for when exactly is Backlash, and what do you think is next for these two?
I gotta assume that they're going to be facing at Backlash. I mean, they are.
No, that's official. I know that, but like, what is? Because it was such a good promo that, like, how do you follow that up?
It has to be something to where either
are you going to involve Paul Heyman?
It has to be. That's right. The only thing that makes sense. Now Heyman comes into the picture. Remember, Seth's whole plan was to get Heyman.
Yeah.
Everybody else kind of involved themselves, So now it's like, all right, Heyman gets involved. Heyman has to get involved. Heyman has to be able to take Braun and mold him. He's already molded him, but mold him even more into a superstar that we know he can be. That Heyman knows that he can be. Seth, however, is trying to destroy that. Seth and Heyman were once that team, and now it's like you moved on from me to this guy.
Yeah,
I gotta stop that. I can't have that happening. And there you go. The way you build that is you have them, even if they're not in matches, have exactly how they built CM Punk and Roman segments. Have one segment where Braun's coming out, where Seth comes out. Let's say he comes out next week. Seth is cutting a promo. Braun comes out, attacks him. Next week, Braun comes out, has a segment, explains why he attacked Seth, gives him a warning and all that. Seth comes out, attacks him. and you have a brawl in the ring. You build it like that. You
This is
know,
May 9th is the event, May 9th. So we
they
have
they got two episodes to now take those promos and build it into. I would the way I would do it would be brawls.
yeah.
Only reason why is because you're doing it in a short amount of time. That's why.
I like it. I mean, I like this feud so far. I feel like it has a lot of legs. There's a lot of things that you could do with it. Now a winner, I don't know. Are we gonna get an actual winner at Backlash, or is Braun gonna win at Seth? But that's gonna be very, very intriguing to see what happens next, man. But man, Raw was we had a new guy on Raw, you know, and this is a guy that I mean, he's very popular, man. He's very popular. His name is Joe Hendry. Say his name, and he appears. I
I
mean, listen,
believe in Joe Hendry.
uh, you know, a lot of people do believe in Joe Hendry. I'm not the biggest Joe Hendry guy, but I'll tell you this: I did like what I saw in Raw. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty chill. The concert, he was singing, he was doing his thing. It was kind of similar to like the Rock kind of concert. So I was like, okay, let's see what he got. Or like an Elias concert, something like that. But I think Joe, he said Logan Paul, sucks, and whatever. Paul, whatever. I thought that was I think it's interesting. Well, I mean, I get it. It's a baby face. You're putting him against with one of the heels, one of the big heels, and you want him to get that reaction. So I get that. But Joe Hendry, I mean, he shows some athleticism. He, was beating up some guy, and then the Street Profits, helped out there. And it looks like the Street Profits are going to be in a feud with Division, with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And Austin Theory just doesn't do it for me, bro. I like he just, on so like I don't like. He's just nothing on the mic, no charisma. There's nothing there. Like I don't know how this guy made the WWE because his promos and like his promo skill, like he has nothing on the mic, nothing, bro. So I don't know, but Joe Hendry, I think it was cool to see. I mean, what did you think? Did you see a lot of Joe Hendry on NXT, on TNA? How do you feel about Joe Hendry on?
Joe Hendry is a cool character, man. He gets over with the fans. I think the theme song is catchy, and I think that's why he's gotten over. How they build him up in the main roster, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of scared for him because this can be a character to where fans can either still get behind as long as you see him kind of every week or whatever. But if he's not there every week and people kind of start to not care, it's kind of like you should have just kept him down there in NXT or had him at TNA, where fans were caring about him a little more than what they would in the main roster. Main roster's tough, man. Not everybody can cut it. Now, if you want it, I personally do his concerts. Have him come out every week and do a song. And if somebody wants to come and interrupt him, and you have a segment like that where he kind of beats the dude up or whatever, start building it that way. Let that be his vocal point.
Is that something he does on NXT? Is that something that he usually does? This concert thing?
Not all the time, but I think they struck gold with him on Monday when they did that, because that's a cool way to introduce him. So let that be part of his shtick.
Okay. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. You're bringing in these new characters, right? You got to have some type of plan for them. And knowing the WWE, you know how the direction is. And at times how people are directionless. And I mean, Joe Hendry, I don't know. I know he's an athletic guy. I know he has the theme song. He has the charisma. He has the fans. So he got a lot, working for him. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Joe Hendry. Welcome to Raw, Joe Hendry. It's your debut. He had a pretty good debut. Now this here, Liv Morgan, Roxanne and Finn. Now you saw Liv talking to Roxanne backstage and basically saying like, I know that Finn is the one that put you in this group, but we got your back, and we want we want you to really be a big part of Judgment Day and trust us. And then you saw Finn Balor saying you cannot, when Liv left, you can't trust these people. You can't trust Judgment Day. You saw what they did to me. And then Roxanne, she did her thing, man. It was a good match. Apparently, I don't know if this was her hometown or something with Roxanne, but they were going for Roxanne, even though there was you're going against Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, Roxanne and Raquel. Like, there was a tag team match, but it seemed like Roxanne was the freaking baby face. Like, she was getting cheered like crazy. So I don't know if this was like a hometown or something, but I thought that was cool. I think Roxanne is a cool character. And it's good to see Roxanne not just be this. I don't want Roxanne to be like this little backstage, like little girl that just doesn't get a lot of screen time. So good thing that she is. And I don't want her to be forgotten in the Judgment Day, because she's a good wrestler. She's a good wrestler. She's good on the mic. She has skills, and she learned from the best. She learned from a lot, man. She looked up to AJ Lee. She looked up to CM Punk. I mean, so I feel Roxanne is going to be something important
Right.
in this in WWE. I don't know exactly when, but what do you think about how Roxanne is displayed on the roster so far?
I mean, obviously, she's part of Judgment Day. She is basically, they're she's in the back. Everybody knows she's part of there, but nobody really cares on what she's doing. Don't get me wrong. I think she gets a lot of respect, and she's one beautiful girl. But I think it's in that situation where now the tide's starting to turn to her way. Now it's like, all right, this is where we start to see Roxanne kind of form her own now, because the topic is on her. Liv telling her, we know you didn't come here because of by yourself. You came here because of somebody that used to be part of our family. It's not there no more, but we can, keep you here, and we have your back. And Finn kind of knows, like, yo, I brought this girl in. I gotta protect her. I think Roxanne's gonna turn on Judgment Day.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think she's gonna turn on Judgment Day. And I think
But you were saying that about Raquel.
I was, but now I'm starting to look at Roxanne. I'm like, that might be her big moment. That might be her big break. Yeah, that might be her big break.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know. It's weird because I think Raquel is on the same pedestal as well.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like now
Yeah.
you have like Raquel, you have Roxanne, and you got this Judgment Day thing,
Yeah.
and one of them I think is going to turn. I agree with you that one of them is going to turn,
Right.
but I don't know who. I don't know if it's going to be Roxanne, or I don't know if it's going to be Raquel. I mean, if you want to put Raquel in a better spot at some point, Raquel might have to be the one that they go to, because you know how WWE they like that powerhouse. You see
Mm-hmm.
that with Jake, and Raquel. She's had good matches. I feel like a lot of people thought that she was gonna win the Elimination Chamber, and she didn't. Or she was gonna win the Rumble maybe, but she didn't. So I think fans do want to see Raquel be something. I just I don't know exactly when, and I'm I'm tired of the Judgment Day. I'm so tired of the Judgment Day. I just don't understand how this group is still alive. I don't. They just keep rehashing the same crap, like literally, man. Like it's just the same crap week after week after week after week after week after week with Judgment Day. Like I I don't know how they're not getting booed out the building. Like you saw Fatal Influence, you saw on SmackDown that heat that they got. That's the heat that freaking Judgment Day should be getting because I don't even want to see them. I want to see them, but I don't want to see them in this group. I want to see them different, like separate, man. Because I like Finn, I like Dom, I like Liv, I like Raquel, and I like Roxanne and Jaden McDonough. He's a good wrestler. He's hasn't found. I think he's good at being the supporting character, and that's okay for Jaden McDonough. That's okay, but I don't know, man. It's tough with the Judgment Day because week after week it's just the same crap, man. And I don't know when it's gonna end because like you have so many members now. Like shit it's so annoying. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I don't know how you feel, but I'm so tired of the Judgment.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It feels like once they let go of Finn, it was more of that's Liv's group now. And that's just what it came down to. But I think they should cut it at this point. Every person in that group deserves to be a single wrestler. You bring more as a single wrestler than what you do from the Judgment Day. I think Triple H needs to make an adjustment on that, be able to go ahead and just put even JD McDonough, like let JD McDonough be his own character. Enough's enough at this point. It's getting super stale.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I don't know. I don't know where this is going, man. But let's get into the main events. But before we do, the beginning of the show, the World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. I love full-time Roman Reigns. I'm so happy he's on the show. I'm so happy because we really needed him. So he's seated in a room, right, with his cousins, the Usos. Reigns says that the past is the past, but they're always blood, right? He doesn't understand where Jacob Fatu is coming from. Everyone had 2 years. 2 years he gave them, right? 2 years to take advantage of him while he took a back seat and procrastinated. So Reigns came back, and then he beat CM Punk. Jimmy Uso doesn't agree with Roman Reigns, right? But he does agree with Jacob. And I thought that was very interesting when I first heard that. I was like, what? He agreed. Okay. Jacob wants to upgrade his household, right? But not at Reigns' expense. Jey Uso says Fatu is dangerous. They've watched him drop people on SmackDown and all that. But if Fatu beats Reigns, he takes it all. He takes the Ulafala. He takes the title. He takes the respect. But he says this is it, man. It can't be about respect. Jey Uso says this. There has to be consequences. There has to be consequences to him not acknowledging Roman and challenging Roman. And Reigns is like, consequences. They're not doing charity, and he'll address this later tonight. And I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you this. Roman comes out. He talks, about this decision and what's going on. And the whole thing is like, is he going to accept this challenge from Jacob Fatu? People telling, the Usos are telling Roman that this guy is dangerous. He's unpredictable. Reigns has never faced anybody like this before. Okay. So Roman Reigns is like, but then Mr. Jacob Fatu comes out. And Roman Reigns is like, you're not ready. You're not ready. You are not ready. What makes you think you have earned this? And they talked about it. They talked about that. And Jacob, he says, I don't respect you, Roman. You didn't, I'm here, not because of you, Roman. I'm here because of Solo. Solo's the one who called me. Solo's the one who got me. And Reigns is like, Solo? What? You must be dumb. You must be really stupid, man. Because I'm the head of the table. What I say goes. You think I didn't sign off on that? You think the tribal chief didn't sign off on that? But it doesn't matter because you're not ready. And Jacob, you tell me what Jacob did next, bro.
Bro, Jacob said, yo, enough's enough. And attacked him. And just pretty much, again, showing that aggressive side of Jacob Fatu that we love. Not taking no for an answer. I mean, obviously Roman ended up accepting it later, right after that. But
yes,
just I think it's gold that they ended it with that attack, where it wasn't just Roman walking away or Fatu walking away, and it ended it on the on just the promo. No, they ended it with physicality, and that small attack that Jacob gave Roman made him look good, because one, Roman allowed him to do that. Roman allowed him to show, be your character, be aggressive. Let's build on the fact that you are that you need this championship, that you need this moment. You right now you're stepping into this squared circle, not remembering that we're cousins. You're looking at me as just a regular competitor. And I think that's when I saw that segment on Monday. That's how I looked at it. He'll stop at nothing to be champion. It doesn't matter what family member has that gold. And I think in that very moment he forget it, even now. Like, I think he's going into this knowing, I'm not looking at Roman as a cousin. I'm looking at him as an enemy who has what I want or what I need. I like the fact that he said that. He's like, it's not that I want it, I need that to validate who I am. You have Solo, you have everybody else in the company already, but I need this opportunity. Why? Because they're not there. They haven't got that. They if I beat you at Backlash with everybody else who had a jump start before me, and I get to be champion first, Solo can't say that. Nobody else could say that. Think about it. So I like the fact that they ended that with him being the aggressor and putting the champion down. Because now it makes him look good. It makes him look strong. It makes him even more believable. The dude cuts phenomenal promos. If you just look at his mic work, like he to me is underrated out of everybody else. In terms of the family, I think he had him and Solo gotta be like right there behind Roman when it comes to mic work. Because I don't think Jake could cut promos like that. I don't think he's that good of a promo.
I think Jimmy could cut.
Jimmy's better. Jimmy's
much better than Jay.
People forget that though because of the fact that Jay went over.
Yeah,
Jay's the hottest one out of the both of them. So you forget that. But I think Jacob has. I'm proud of the work he's done. The elevation on this kid from where I've seen him to where he is now. Like, I'm so happy that he's getting this opportunity, and I like the fact that they ended Raw with him looking like the dominant one.
Yeah, I
because
like that.
he's an aggressive wrestler. And Roman's not gonna take no shit. Just look at how him and Punk went back and forth. Like if they build this right, this could be really good.
I agree. I think this could be really good. I think you saw like, what's it called? Jacob do this. I think it was the thumb or like that, obviously that's shades of his what's it called? His pops. Isn't that his
Father,
pops?
his father,
Umaga.
Umaga. Yep.
Umaga. So,
Mhm.
I mean, that's his pops. And I love what I saw. I love what I saw. I love him being aggressive. I love him taking that moment. So you're not just Roman's like, you're not ready. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care what you say. And I like what you said. I'm gonna go through anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a family member. I'm still gonna go through you, and I don't care. I don't care, and I love that. I love that. So and then you see Roman down, and he's like, "You want me at backlash? You got it." And he basically forced the head of the tables. He forced them to say yes. Now let me ask you this: does that make Roman look weak or strong with the family?
Oh, and he's a champion. He's always gonna look strong.
But with that situation, with him accepting it and getting taken down, does that make him look weaker, or is he? I mean, yeah,
if anything, I mean, in
like to
weaker.
the family, not like not to the fans. I'm talking about to the family.
No, no. I think he's fine. I think he's fine. I think people. I mean, I think the family still looks at him as the head of the table. I mean, he was blindsided, right? In a way,
Yeah.
I don't think he saw that. He didn't see that spike coming. So you just they caught you. And they know that Roman's gonna come back and respond, and he's not gonna get caught off guard.
Yeah.
And again, one of those things where in the match he probably would, but in those situations, it's like Fatu sneaked up on him. They know that Roman is smart enough to know it's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was an interesting Raw, man. Man, it was a good episode. I like what I saw. No Gunther. I don't know where Gunther is. Um, so that's a big part of Raw, and maybe it's time for Gunther to go to SmackDown. I don't know what you think about that, but if they're not going to do Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam, because I mean, I still think that they probably are, but because I think Brock is not done, but Gunther, like, he didn't show up, so we haven't seen him in 2 weeks. We haven't seen him in 2 weeks, right?
In like 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen him ever since WrestleMania. So that is very intriguing. So maybe SmackDown could be the play. And we also didn't see CM Punk.
No,
So what if
that's a
SmackDown
guy.
is
That's a
two
guy
new
that
additions,
right.
Gunther and CM Punk?
I think Punk seems the more likely to go to SmackDown because he's had some interesting segments with Cody.
You're damn right. You're damn right he has, man.
Anything they build that up for SummerSlam.
You're damn right he has, man.
Yeah.
Man, nah, man. This was a nice video here, man. If you guys enjoyed, definitely do us a favor. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Always the sharpshooters, man. And we keep it real.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys follow the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast on X and Instagram and TikTok. We're definitely going to be on top of the social medias. That way you guys can see a lot of the posts that we put. But just make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys follow Randy at Wrestling Fan Randy. And follow me at Top Bunk Sports and stay updated with us because there's a lot to talk about now that Mania is over. So appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir, man. Like I said, we keep it real. Have a good one, y'all.